Welcome back, you guys. Today's video is going to be a foundation review. Today we're going to be testing out the new Wet n Wild foundation. So we are going to get jumping right into it, and make sure to subscribe down below before you guys head out. So let's get started. Packaging looks like, and as you guys can see, this here is what the box will come in, and then it comes in a compact version. I myself have never really used compact versions. I always prefer a liquid, but we're always willing to test something out. The next thing on our list is talking about the price point. So this does retail for $8.99 at the Ulta website, which is just what I pulled up. So I'm going to say that it retails between $8 and $10 depending on where you go. Sometimes you guys could probably attach a coupon to this to make it just a little bit cheaper if you guys check out your local newspapers. As you guys can see, the shade selection is very lacking. It only has about 8 shades, which, to be honest with you guys, for Wet n Wild, that really doesn't surprise me. Any other brand, I'd be a little bit like, really? But there's been numerous times where I've tried to find a foundation from Wet n Wild, and the shade just there wasn't really anything. So I do have 2 shades with me because I never can find an exact shade when I use Wet n Wild foundations. So just to be safe, I have buff beige as well as natural beige. I'm going to start off with natural beige because that's typically what I kind of lean towards, but just in case, I have this one. This does have a 0.52 ounces inside in all. I'm going to be honest with you guys, I feel like that's not very much product considering that the Maybelline Fit Me has 1 fluid ounce in it, but it is what it is. Once you open it up, you are going to get a sponge, and then it does have a locking mechanism to keep that product inside and nice and, I don't know, hydrated, I guess. And then once you press into it, you get quite a bit of product actually, for the most part. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and test it, but before we test it, I'm going to go ahead and prime my face. I'm going to go in with the Fenty Beauty Primer. You guys know my thoughts on this. I'm not a huge fan, but because I paid so much money on this damn product, I'm going to use it. And then just for my pores, I went in with a little bit more of the Porefessional Pearl Primer. This one is their new one that they just came out with. I like it. It has a little bit of a radiance, but not so much, which I personally prefer because I still get to kind of, you know, make my pores less visible, and it also kind of gives a little bit of a radiant look to it. So that's what we're going in with, and now we're going to actually go in with the actual product. Let's start using the sponge, and then if it, you know, looks really splotchy, I'll go in with the brush. So I'm just going to press it right in. Wow. Okay. And then we're just going to pat. So here is one layer with the product. I'll be honest with you guys, I don't feel like you get very much product using this. I feel like this sponge kind of soaks everything up. So I'm not a fan of this sponge at all. So for this side of the face, I'm going to go in with the Morphe E6. And look at how perfect. It's like perfectly sits in there. So here is one layer using just the brush. I will say that I personally like using a brush better because it doesn't splotch up kind of like the sponge does, and I feel like the sponge kind of took away most of the product, so I had to dive in multiple times. So the coverage is buildable. You can build it up, not completely to like a matte coverage. I think right now it's just gonna, if I do it anymore, it's just gonna get cakey. But it's definitely something that I can see between a light and medium coverage. So this is definitely going to be perfect for an everyday makeup look. I literally feel like I'm not wearing anything but like a tinted moisturizer. So if you guys like that kind of a feeling, I feel like you guys are really going to like this. Besides that, I'm going to go ahead and finish up the rest of my makeup, put everything on, and then I'm going to come over here and show you guys what it looks like with all my makeup on. So give me 1 second. So here is my final look. If you guys are wondering about my eyes, I just used the new Urban Decay and Kristen Leanne palette. You guys, it's so good. I have a little bit of a PR kit that they sent me, so I got to try out all of their kits, and I definitely love these two. These are amazing. So I am planning to do an eye look using the palettes, so that should be up. I don't know if it's going to be before or after, but whichever one. I'll have it right here and let you guys know more about it. So anyways, now that everything is on, I must say that I really like the way that it looks. I feel like it's covered, you know what I mean? Like there's coverage to my face, but it's not too heavy. This is definitely something where I can play around with. I didn't think I could create like a fun look and then my skin look, I guess, healthy, but I like the way it looks. So as you guys can see, it does do a really good job at covering my contour, my highlight. Everything came on really nicely and smooth, and it blended out. I will say, I think even if you are dry skin or oily skin, you are going to have to set this because I can see it being a little bit patchy if you guys aren't using a powder on top of it. But I think just dusting a translucent powder on top of it, if you like the way that the coverage is alone, would be good. I myself had to go in with a little bit of powder, so I went in with the Maybelline Fit Me powder to set everything. I did have to go in with a little bit of extra powder because, again, I don't like that luminous finish, but I do like the way that it sits on my skin. I don't feel like I have a lot of makeup on, which is the craziest part, and I am somebody that likes having that kind of a full coverage. I mean, this is a pretty glam look, and using this foundation, I'm actually really impressed. So I'm gonna go ahead and end it here, and then I will do one final recap with you guys so you guys can see how it looks like. But yeah, I will be right back. I am here with my final check-in. Yes, my top is a little bit different because I am getting ready to go to bed, and I thought I would come in and just show you guys everything on how it looks. I'm really super impressed with this foundation, I must say. I did not expect this foundation to turn out the way that it did. I did have to go in midday using a little bit of translucent powder just in my T-zone area right here, but you guys can see just how well everything has held up. I got to wear it for about a total of 6 hours, not a full work day, but a pretty good amount of time. I definitely am impressed with the way that it looks. I definitely would recommend it. Again, the only problem with this foundation is that it is very selective in their color range, but if you guys find your color selection, or if you guys are in the store and you guys are wondering if it is good or what the deal is with it, I would totally recommend it. Again, oh wow. Anyways, let me know your guys' thoughts down below. I want to know if you guys have tried this foundation yet, and I want to know your guys' thoughts, or if it's something you guys have been thinking about, or you guys are definitely going to try it out. Make sure to subscribe before you guys head out. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys, and I will see you guys all later. Bye.